Hello, I'm excited to show you how to get started using a Google Form in Classroom. Google Forms can be used for many uses. They can be used just to collect general data about students. They can be used for testing questions for teachers. They can be used for surveys for colleagues that you're working for, or maybe you want to set up a fundraiser and you need to get information on who would be willing to participate. I know our union uses them for voting on specific positions. The uses for Google Forms are endless, but in this video I'm just going to show you kind of the basics of how to get one going and started. So to get to Google Forms, you can click on your waffle or the little 3x3 squares here, and this has got a quick link to it, so you can scroll down. Google Forms is purple, it's that little sheet there. You're going to want to start by clicking on that. Now, there are different templates. As always, Google always shares some really great templates you can sign up, but if you want to just create your own, that's where we're going to get started. So we're going to start with a blank copy. Now, right here, you might want to title it, so maybe you're going to make this an All About Me survey. So that's where you're going to start. You can add a form description, please. So you want to just put a little description here, just depending on what you're using this for. You may need a description, you may not. So then going right into it, they start with question 1. So you can start right here and you can enter your question. What is your favorite color? So for this, you would want a short answer text. So they actually switch it to that for you, which is kind of nice. But maybe you have young kiddos and you want to make it specific. You could switch it to a multiple choice, or you could leave it as check boxes. So maybe you want to list specific colors and you want them to check as many as they want. But in this specific answer, we'll leave that as a short answer. So there's tools over here. You can import questions from different websites. You could add a title or description. You may add an image here if you want, or a video that you want them to watch. But if you're ready to go to the next question, you're just going to hit that plus mark down there. So maybe the next one is when? Birthday. So again, this will probably, it automatically puts things in here for the students to go ahead and click on, which is very nice. It's very convenient when they can give you a good response system that would work best for the question that you're typing in. And let's add another one. We can say how do you feel about reading? So for this one, maybe you want to do a linear scale. So you may want to say label 1 is and label 5 is, so you can add different linear scales on there. Maybe you want to make it to 10, or if you want to make it to 5, you can leave it at that. And so these are just different ways that you can add questions. And again, these right here are different responses that you can have on there. A paragraph, a short answer, any of these work. They're all really great options, and they're very user-friendly. So then the next part of this would be just showing the responses. It'll show that you don't have any responses yet. When you post the survey, you'll get responses that you'll be able to look at. And then your settings here, this is just to show, okay, if you want to make this a quiz, you can slide this button over. And then it'll give you some different options. Maybe you want to release grades immediately after each submission. Students sometimes love this option because they can see right away how they did. If the test is all multiple choice, it'll give them a quick feedback. If it's not, it'll tell them that they need more time. Later after manual review, so that's where you know if you're going to have to manually go in and look at extra credit responses or short answer responses. It can show them missed questions and correct answers. At our school, we allow students to do test corrections, so these we always typically check. That way students can go back in, see what they missed, see what the correct answer is, and then go in and do some test corrections by writing a sentence in the correct answer to help them boost up their grade if they didn't do that well. Point values, they can see the total points and points received, so you can have that clicked on or clicked off. It's kind of just whatever your teaching situation is, or maybe it's just whatever survey you're trying to collect information from. The next part of this would be responses, so you can collect email addresses, you can send responders a copy of their response when they request one or always. You can allow response editing, so they can change their responses after being submitted. I don't typically allow that if we're doing tests because you're not sure if the student went back in and looked at the answer after. Another mode to look at is presentation. So this shows like a progress bar. For my special education students, the progress bar is nice because it gives them an idea of how much of the test they have left. So it allows them to know that the test is almost over, or it shows me when I'm going around checking where they're at in the question or test that they need to, maybe they need more help, maybe they're stuck, or maybe they're not understanding material so they're having a hard time getting through the test. So the progress bar is a very nice option. You can also have them shuffle question order if you want, if you're giving this test to multiple students and you want to make sure that cheating can be eliminated. If they're sitting close to each other, you can shuffle those questions for each student. And then just a few more of these things is after submission, they could receive a confirmation message. You can show a link to submit another response. You can disable autosave for all respondents, review the results summary. There's so many different options that are user-friendly. Just by depending on the situation and depending on what you're creating a form for, these might all look, they will always look completely different, but it's nice that there are so many options for teachers and staff and even just anybody who's not in education to use Google Forms for. Then once you're all done with your settings, you can hit send. You can send this link to somebody. You can use the link. You can embed the code somewhere. You can add it to your Google Classroom. There's a lot of different options here, but that is how you set up a Google form in Google Drive.